Plenty of popular and delicious foods can clearly clog your arteries and damage your heart health. But were you aware that cardiologists, nutritionists, and other medical specialists are now pointing to one particular type of drink as the most serious threat to your cardiovascular system, your blood sugar control, and your overall health? What is this drink? And what are the other drinks that cardiologists also warn against over-consuming? Let's find out. The one drink that cardiologists fear the most. We'll reveal the exact drink that one cardiologist says is especially problematic for people with pre-existing heart-related conditions, including diabetes, later in this video. But first, it is important to understand that there are other drinks which doctors caution against over-consuming, especially if you are worried about your arterial health. So let's take a quick look at one major liquid offender: sugary drinks. If you're already managing diabetes, then you probably already know that sugar-filled soft drinks and juices can cause a rapid spike in your glucose levels. These drinks can lead to increased insulin resistance, which may then cause a cascade of heart-related issues, including weight gain, inflammation, and dyslipidemia, or imbalanced cholesterol levels. Sugary drinks are high in empty calories, meaning they supply little to no nutritional benefits or filling dietary fiber. Therefore, they won't help you to feel full. In fact, they may lead you to unknowingly overeat during your next meal. A meta-analysis published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition cited several studies where participants who drank soft drinks daily gained significantly more weight than participants who did not consume liquid calories. Of course, weight gain and obesity can lead to many damaging effects for your cardiovascular system. For one thing, their empty calorie sugar, coupled with the potential for overeating other high-fat, high-sugar foods, can greatly increase your LDL cholesterol. This is that naughty form of artery-clogging cholesterol. Consuming sugary beverages can also lead to less HDL cholesterol in your bloodstream. But that's not a good thing. Why? HDL is the form of cholesterol which helps your body remove LDL cholesterol before it can oxidize into arterial plaque. Plus, research shows that sugary drinks can increase your triglycerides. That can lead to hardening of your arteries, or atherosclerosis. Also, regular intake of sugar-filled soft drinks is associated with hypertension or high blood pressure, and studies show that these drinks can contribute to chronic inflammation, another key contributor to arterial plaque formation. All this arterial damage can increase your risk of a stroke, a heart attack, and heart disease. And research shows that frequent consumption of sugary drinks can increase your risk of dying from heart-related issues. So, this must mean you should simply switch to diet sodas, right? Well, not so fast, because cardiologists are now pointing to new research that exposes the dangers of artificially sweetened drinks. Choosing soft drinks or juices which have true sugar removed in favor of artificial sweetening agents won't help you avoid all the same pitfalls you will find with those full sugar drinks. In fact, diet sodas have been found to raise your risk of multiple health issues. Why is that? Well, while the exact mechanisms for how diet soda can damage your heart are not fully understood, research makes it clear that their fake sugar can still do real damage to your insulin sensitivity. That's because, while they won't cause a glucose spike, they can still lead to a high insulin response from your body. Artificial sugar tricks your taste buds and your brain into believing that you are consuming a sweet food, and thus your pancreas will release a flood of insulin into your bloodstream. That means you will have free-floating insulin circulating through your body, with no actual sugar to manage. Over time, excess insulin, like excess sugar, can cause your muscle cells to become less responsive to your insulin. thereby heightening your insulin resistance. And of course, that can lead to a wide range of issues for your glucose control and your cardiovascular health. Plus, studies further suggest that artificial sweeteners may affect the composition of your gut microbiota, or the balance between the colonies of beneficial bacteria and potentially harmful bacteria, which call your gut their home. Having an imbalance of bacteria in your gut microbiome can negatively influence various metabolic processes, including your body's energy regulation. It may also lead to heightened inflammation. As is the case with overconsuming high-sugar drinks, diet drinks are linked with chronic inflammation and the development of atherosclerosis, potentially leading to thickened artery walls and arterial plaque formation. There is also evidence to suggest that artificially sweetened beverages can damage your body's endothelial function, meaning these drinks may weaken the inner linings of your blood vessels. This, too, may lead to atherosclerosis and other cardiovascular issues, including vasodilation or narrowing of blood vessels, and hypertension or increased blood pressure. In fact, a study published in the Journal of General Internal Medicine found that daily consumption of diet soft drinks can increase the risk of multiple vascular events, including strokes and heart attacks. And a separate study showed that postmenopausal women who drank 2 or more diet sodas per day heightened their risk of death from cardiovascular disease. A report from the Framingham Heart Study concluded that drinking just 1 soft drink per day, whether or not it is a diet drink or a full sugar beverage, increases your risk of developing metabolic syndrome. And to put the final nail in the diet drink coffin, a recent study showed that drinking 2 liters or more of artificially sweetened drinks per week, the equivalent of 1 medium-sized drink per day, increases the risk of atrial fibrillation, or an irregular heartbeat, by 20%. So, yeah, no. Packaged diet drinks loaded with unhealthy chemical sweetening agents will not help you avoid cardiovascular damage or heightened insulin resistance. Quite the opposite, in fact. They will raise your risk of all the same health conditions that come from overconsuming regular soft drinks. But what is the one beverage cardiologists now suggest may be even worse for your heart than sugary drinks and diet drinks? Your heart is probably pumping in anticipation of the answer to this burning question. First, do yourself a favor and take a breath. Also, help your heart and ours by clicking the like button, and do us another solid by subscribing to our channel. You are also cordially invited to participate with our diabetes fighting community by commenting below. Tell us your story regarding your relationship with sugary drinks, and let us know all about your go-to beverages. We really appreciate your support. Okay, so it's time to reveal that one drink cardiologists and nutritionists fear the most when it comes to glucose regulation and heart health. Stay away from energy drinks. According to dietitian Trisha Best, of all the beverages that are potentially detrimental to heart health, energy drinks are at the top of the list. Why is that exactly? Well, as it turns out, energy drinks tend to combine all the most harmful elements of sugary drinks and diet beverages. Energy drinks can be loaded with high amounts of sugar or high amounts of artificial sweeteners, depending on the brand. That means they already have the ability to create the very same detrimental effects as other packaged drinks for your glucose control, your arterial strength, and your blood pressure. But energy drinks take this damage to the next level with their shockingly high levels of caffeine. In fact, many energy drinks contain up to 150 milligrams of caffeine per 8-ounce serving. That's equivalent to 2 12-ounce cans of soda. And many energy drink enthusiasts drink multiple servings of these beverages each day. Cardiologists note that regularly consuming high amounts of caffeine can lead to increased heart rate, elevated blood pressure, and heart palpitations, along with other side effects like anxiety and irritability. Other research indicates that excess caffeine consumption can lead to chronic inflammation and oxidative stress, which can further increase arterial plaque formation as well as blood sugar dysregulation. In fact, studies indicate that high caffeine intake can lead your body to release extra adrenaline, which will then cause a rise in your blood sugar levels. Plus, staying true to their name, many energy drinks give you an extra shot of stimulation, with their inclusion of chemicals like taurine, ginseng, and guarana. While these stimulants may provide therapeutic effects in some instances, studies still show that consuming them in combination with the high caffeine found in energy drinks can also create other serious side effects, including insomnia, headaches, increased blood pressure, and in some cases, arrhythmias, or irregular heartbeats, especially when consumed in large quantities. It is true that the combination of caffeine and other chemical compounds within energy drinks has been shown to aid endurance athletes by providing extra energy for prolonged exercise. However, these drinks are primarily targeted to and consumed by teenagers and young adults, and studies show that these drinks often contain concentrations of caffeine that far exceeds the daily recommended intake for adults. In fact, new research also cautions against regular consumption of energy drinks for athletes. A study from the Turkish Society of Cardiology found that regular consumption of energy drinks significantly increased glucose concentrations in the heart muscle, and they concluded that physically active people should avoid long-term consumption of Red Bull and other brand-name energy beverages. Plus, while some studies suggest that short-term, moderate consumption of energy drinks can improve cognitive capacities and motor skills, longer-term consumption has been shown to lead to a decrease in cerebral blood flow. Other research indicates that the combination of caffeine and other stimulants inside these beverages may lead to dehydration as well as electrolyte imbalance. That can cause heart dysfunction and may also lead to symptoms like heart palpitations, chest pain, and other severe cardiovascular issues. Overall, scientists have concluded that there are 3 main heart-related consequences of regularly consuming energy drinks: increased heart rate, increased blood pressure, and increased blood thickening, which may lead to blood clot formation in the heart and other areas of the body. One recent study gave a small group of healthy participants 2 cans of brand-name energy drinks to consume daily for 1 week. What did the results show? Well, within 4 hours of consumption, participants' average systolic blood pressure increased by 8% after 1 day, and 10% by day 7. Their average heart rate increased by 8% on day 1, and 11% on day 7. In addition to these findings, there have been several reported cases of caffeine-associated death, as well as multiple cases of seizures associated with the consumption of energy and power drinks. And perhaps worst of all, the health risks of energy drinks have been found to increase if you consume them rapidly, excessively, or with alcohol. So, what do cardiologists say about these beverages? Well, in an article published by Hackensack Meridian Health, cardiologist Robert Schanzer said, "Some energy drinks contain a dangerous combination of excess sugar and stimulants that can lead to strains on your heart." The same article quoted Dr. David Hodges as saying, "For people with pre-existing conditions, these drinks can be especially problematic." According to the Texas Health Journal, Dr. Ashesh Parikh noted, "Energy drinks have long been shown to cause an elevation in your heart and can trigger arrhythmias, such as AFib and rapid heart rate." He went on to note that there are case reports published that link energy drinks to premature heart disease and cardiomyopathies, or a dilated heart. And the Journal of Electrocardiology came to a simple conclusion: Stay away from energy drinks. They reported findings of a recent study which showed that healthy participants who regularly consumed energy drinks had altered cardiac cycles, increased blood pressure, and decreased levels of potassium in their bloodstream. The report went on to suggest that because energy drink consumption has become so prevalent, emergency room personnel should ask patients if they partake in these beverages in the same way that they ask about cigarette and alcohol consumption. So, now you know. Cardiologists warn against over-consuming sugary beverages, artificially sweetened beverages, and perhaps most especially, for the sake of your heart health and blood sugar control. The experts clearly caution against overdoing your consumption of high sugar, high caffeine energy drinks.